Good evening, guys and gals. This is Taylor, and I'm going to go over a bunch of chart requests here that I've received throughout the day. First, I just want to kind of touch on a familiar story here. This person is in a stock, putting their whole retirement into it, not doing well. His or her investor keeps assuring him or her that it will turn to its previous glory, and he's terrified. He or she is terrified. And this is a very familiar story to, I'm sure, a lot of you. And I'm not going to tell you what to do with your investment or how you should handle it, but there are a couple of lessons that we can learn here. For one, putting your whole retirement into one stock is probably not the best idea. Okay. Now there's a difference between diversifying and waiting for the right stock. So you don't just diversify to diversify, just to spread it out. But rather than putting your whole retirement into this one stock, maybe put a portion of it into that stock. You don't want any one stock or investment or trade to make or break you. Of course, if it turns out well, then you're going to be patting yourself on the back. But if it turns out poorly, you're going to be losing your entire retirement, and that's not good. So, that goes for retirement, 401ks. Or just in your portfolio of stocks. You shouldn't be putting all of your eggs into one basket because that's not the best risk management to be having. Another thing here is we're putting, and I'm not trying to pick on this person, so don't feel that way. I'm just kind of talking about it so that other people can learn from it, and hopefully that you can learn from this as well. So the other thing here is that this person's investor keeps assuring them that it will return to its previous glory. And the one thing that I don't like about this is that we're putting our whole retirement into a stock based off of what some other person is telling you. So the best way to, I think, manage, stocks and your portfolio is to do at least a little bit of your own research so that you can feel confident in that decision. If you're relying on this other person is just saying, oh, the stock's going to go up, the stock's going to go up, and maybe it will go up, but if it's going down at the time, you're not going to be confident it's going up because we're basing our decision off of what someone else knows. So it's a really tough position to be in. And in the past, I've been in that position before. I learned my lesson, and it's just a really tough decision. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that before I analyze everything else. So hopefully that'll help you guys out. Next, I'm going to start at the beginning of the list here. Okay, so TVIX, I'm not really going to chart that. You can't really chart volatility that well, so I'm going to skip that. Next is MTCH. Oh, you know what? And I'm going to cover this guy's stock really quick. So the retirement person was in HLX, and this is the weekly chart for HLX. And I'm going to look at short term here. Well, not that short term, but we've got a decent break over this resistance here. You can see, and we're holding above it. You can see all these candles holding above it, and we've got this little downtrend line right here, And to me, this looks like a bull flag. So here's the flag pole, and here's the flag. Okay, so if we hold over this trend line, and especially hold over $9, I believe that's going to be a really good sign for HLX. Now, as far as returning to its glory, I'm assuming, you know, $30 or so is its glory. Well, that's going to be, it can go there, but it's going to be a really tough road because we have a lot of resistance between $9 and $30. So a lot of resistance. You can see a lot of sideways trading action here, a lot of sideways trading action. And if you've watched the previous videos I've done, that's how resistance and support is created. And we've got several years of sideways trading action here, right here. That's about $15. Up here all the way up to $19, $20. So it's really thick in this range, and you can see it by the gray bar right here. See these gray bars? This is the volume by price, and that measures the volume that has been traded at this specific price. So right up here between 12 and 15, or about 12 and $18 is where the most volume has been traded. So that's where the most resistance is. So if we end up heading back up there, and it can totally do it, but it's definitely going to be a long road, and it's going to be very hard to break over those price levels. So I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know where it's going to go, but just hopefully that'll help you out with your decision. Okay, so MTCH. Next one I want to cover. You know, we don't have a lot of history on this stock, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to analyze this one. Main thing that I'm seeing here is this uptrend line right here. We've got a touch from the February lows, April, May, and if we end up coming down to that level, that may get a bounce. But again, you know, we've only got less than a year of history right here, so really want to see some more action on that one to give a much better analysis. Next, I'm going to cover SUNW. And again, like I always mention with these lower priced stocks, is the liquidity is not as good as it is on, let's say, Apple or Netflix. So the charts are not as easy to read. So with that said, I do see that we broke over this downtrend line. You can see that there's a touch here, almost there, here, 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 and then we broke over it just recently. So we gapped up, bullish on some really heavy volume right here. That's the biggest volume day that we've had since over here last year, right around this time. Okay, yeah, pretty much to the year is where that big volume day was. So we're over this downtrend line. So I'm seeing support right around 250 or so. So 250 is the level that I want to see hold in order for this to head higher. On the upside, the resistance I'm seeing just above $3. You can see that we got rejected at it from the highs here, these candles, and then all these candles. You can see that we broke over it right here on an intraday basis, right here. You can see that we closed below that line right there, okay? Next is MGT. Let me see what I can see here. Yeah, so this is another reason that you really want to be aware of volume at price. So where are we having trouble with right now on MGT? Well, you can see right here, based off of the volume by price, volume at price, right here, this big long gray bar, this is something that you can easily add to your chart. It's nothing special. Volume at price, definitely something that you want to be aware of. And you can see that this is where the most volume has been traded, and that's where we're having trouble with right here on MGT, okay? Another thing I'm seeing is obviously we're seeing a lot of support down in the 20-cent range. I know that's a long ways away, but still that's definitely a level. And then you can see that there's some resistance up here at $7. And I'm going to go back to the daily chart here. And you can see that there's some support around 225 or so. You can see that we've got some sideways trading right around here from these few candles here. So that's going to be some support right there. You really want to see that support level hold. Otherwise, we do risk seeing a little bit of a decline. And the reason for that is because when you have a straight up move like this, I mean, this is about as straight up as you can go. Okay, so we've got 2 weeks of just straight up action right here. And what that does is it's good and it's bad. Okay, it's good because you're seeing these gains. Okay, that's great. But on the downside, if we are to consolidate lower, if we do break that 226, 225 level, we do risk heading, a little bit lower, much lower, because on the way up, we didn't create any support, okay? Because we just went straight up, all right? When you trade sideways, that's when support and resistance is created, okay? So just be aware of that level, and just be aware that there's not much support until you come back down lower near 50 cents or so, 40 cents. And that's from this sideways action right there. And then you can see between 40 cents and 20 cents right here is, if we come back down there, that's definitely a buyable level. I'm not saying it is going down there. I'm just saying that if it does go down there, there's a lot of support. So that'd be an area that I'd be interested in getting shares. All right, next I want to cover SPHS. So SPHS, this is the weekly chart here. Not my favorite chart, but again, we're coming up to these all-time highs, and you can see that we got rejected at these all-time highs right here. So it's no surprise that we are seeing some consolidation. The week is, we have 2 days left until the week closes. So this is a weekly candlestick where every candlestick represents a week. So this is this week's candlestick. And this is not that great of a looking candlestick because this is a reversal candlestick. Okay, you can see how hard we sold off. Would have been pretty bullish if we would have closed maybe up here above that $7 range on SPHS, but we came up here after a big move from lower than $1 here, about, what is that, 80 cents or so? Oops. Yeah, 80 cents. I mean, that's a 10-bagger up here, so no surprise that we're seeing some consolidation. And so here it is on the daily chart as well. We're seeing a big reversal candle right there. So just be aware of that. In the last 2 days, we saw some big volume, okay? So big volume with these reversal candles up here. To me, that looks like a lot of selling that occurred up here. So just be aware of these reversal candlesticks and this volume that you're seeing right here. So this is the most volume that we've seen since this candle over here. You can see that we gapped up. This was bullish right here, and you can see what happened after that. Okay, so we've got another 2 days of big volume and a reversal candle. So just be aware of what's going on with the chart. All right, LIOX or ZX. Let's see which one looks more interesting. LIOX. Well, let's just cover this really quick. I do have this line here. I don't even remember doing any analysis on this, but you can see that we do have some resistance up here in the $5 range. You can see that it got rejected here, here, and here. And then another thing I'm seeing is some support around the $4 range. You can see that we got support, and these few candles almost hit that $4 level, and these few candles right there. So those are the main levels that I'm seeing. Let's see if anything else stands out. And this is a great learning opportunity because you get to see me annotate these live rather than just having these lines just already drawn out. So you get to hear my thought process as I go through this. So this is a pretty decent downtrend line that we have here. You can see that we have a touch here, and then several touches right here. So look for this. Oh, and another thing that I'm seeing right here is you can see that there was resistance from this candle, these few candles, and then we broke over that right there with these candles right here. So looks like a decent pattern here. If we do end up breaking over this little set of candles, so if we break 470, most likely going to be heading back up to that resistance at about 515 or so, okay? And then we'd be breaking over this little mini downtrend right here. So looks pretty decent. I'd want to see this 450 level hold, 440 level hold in order for this to remain somewhat bullish in the short time frame that we've been covering. But yeah, look for a break over those price levels. If that happens, most likely we're going to come up there, tag that 515 level. All right, let's cover rider. All right, so first thing I'm seeing right here is some resistance right around just above $71, and that's because of these highs of these candles, these highs, and then again we got rejected right around that area just yesterday. So today we saw some big red volume, so that's not a great look. But again, this it didn't do that much damage to the chart. So not ready to call it quits on rider just yet. But we do have that main resistance up in that $71 range for rider. Trying to see if I can see anything else. I'm seeing potentially a downtrend. Okay, so this is why it's good to have these downtrend lines drawn, because you can see that we have a touch here, several touches here, and then we extend that all the way over here. So it's no surprise that we're heading lower as we got rejected right at this downtrend line. So that's something that you want to be aware of, is this downtrend line on rider. All right, GLW is the next one I'm going to cover. So GLW is another one that I already have annotated. You can see that we broke over this resistance here. You can see we gapped down. This was a gap down. This was the open of the day, but we ended up closing still back above this $21 support. So if we can remain above this $21 level support, and I think we can head higher. But that's the level that I want to see hold. If we break below 21, we could risk coming back down here to this $19 to $18 level, which is some pretty decent support. All right, next let's cover BCS or ABT and take a quick look at both of these. Yeah, I really don't like this chart, so I'm going to skip this one. But clearly, not a great looking chart. We're making lows below these previous lows. Not a great looking chart. All right, ABT. Let's see what I can see here. First thing I'm seeing is quite a bit of resistance near that $46 mark. You can see that the highs of these candles got rejected, and then all this action right here got rejected at that range and level as well. Another thing that I'm seeing here is this resistance right around $44. You can see from the lows of all these candles right here where that's resistance. It was support, but now that we're below it, it became resistance. You can see right here we came back up to that level and got rejected at it from the lows of these candles. We're coming up to that level right now. So this is a thick area between 44 and 46, and you got to be aware of it. We've traveled a long ways from these lows, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least a little bit of a pause near this $44 level. What you really want to see is a clearing of this $46 level and hold above that 46. We hold above 46, then we're going to be able to see a really nice move to the upside. Potentially can tag this level up here near that 51 resistance up there. CBMX. Alright, so CBMX, I think I covered this the other day. So really quickly, we broke, and this is what I always say about these lower price stocks. Very hard to do technical analysis on this. The liquidity is not there. They do not act the same as stocks like Apple and Caterpillar and Disney and all those stocks like that. So as you can see here, we're seeing we broke out of this pretty decent box here with this candlestick right here yesterday, or I'm sorry, not yesterday, I believe this was Monday right here, and then we ended up closing back below this box. So not the best behavior right there that you want to see out of the stock. Really wanted to see it hold that 350 level personally. Next support is going to be right around 260, 270 from these two lows that we got to bounce from over here. PZZA. So there's some resistance right around where we're at, right around $74 or so. You can see that we got rejected at it here, here, and then that's where we're currently at right now. So we can break over it, but at the moment, it's not really a surprise that we are taking a little pause here. If we end up breaking over that, we're going to have a little bit more resistance between there and about 78.50 or 79. So that's something to be aware of. This isn't, the best, cleanest looking chart, and I don't mean that it's a bad chart. I just mean that there's not a lot for me to say about it. We do have this uptrend line right here and that's pretty nice. We've got a touch here, we've got a touch here, several touches against that angle right here. So you want to see this uptrend line hold, and if it does hold, we can head much higher on pizza. JetBlue or Netflix? I'm going to go with JetBlue. Alright, so JetBlue, what we have here is we got to break over this downtrend line right here. We broke over it with heavy volume. Okay, it was not looking good. I believe I covered this the other day, and we did break below. We broke over the downtrend line, but we didn't hold over it, and we broke back below it right here. Okay, so it wasn't really acting that well. But right here, we had a big, huge volume day on a nice big green candle right here, and we're back over that downtrend line. Definitely like it. That volume in this candle definitely solidifies this move for me. That's really one of the most important things that you want to look for, is you want to see volume confirming that move. It's not completely necessary, but it is definitely a positive when you see volume confirming these patterns. So a lot of buyers that want this stock to go higher, and that's what we should see. So if this 1750 level holds, I like JetBlue for higher. We broke over this downtrend line, volume, nice recovery. And I'm going to go to the next page of charts. TWLO. I'm just going to do really quick here. Not a ton of action on this one just yet, so really it could go any way. But really quick here, this looks decent. We broke over this downtrend line. We have this uptrend line. We saw a little bit of a volume pop today, so really want to see that 40 level or about, let's call it 39. I want to see 39 hold in order for this to remain bullish. If that's the case, the trend, however short it is, we've got 5 weeks of total trading for TWLO, but the trend is up. So technical analysis doesn't have to be that complicated. Just ride the trend. So I want to see personally 39 hold. If we close below 39, I personally wouldn't really like it long. But if we do hold that 39 level and we continue to hold this uptrend line, we could be making new all-time highs. Tesla, I covered in a video I did earlier today, so if you want to look out Tesla, you can look at the YouTube channel and see the previous video. CXR from our Canadian friend, Mustard Tiger. Alright, so, oops, is this not the CXR? CXR, okay. Okay, since you're Canadian, okay, it's the same company. Okay, well, alright. So, I'm assuming, if this isn't the one you're talking about, I do apologize, but I'm assuming this is it because it's Canadian right here. So, not a great look here. We broke below this support right here. You can see we got a bounce here, 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 and then we're now below that support with this action right here. We actually just broke below another level of support right here. So there was support here, here, and these levels are, the first level was $28, $29. This level here is about $25, $30. So not a great looking stock right here. And I'm sorry if you own it. Another thing I want to point out is, okay, that doesn't really look right. Yeah, not enough touches to really make this a really powerful downtrend line, but we'll draw it just in case it ends up getting another touch. But there is that downtrend line right here. We've got a touch there and right there as well. But most importantly, we broke below this 29 support that we bounced from several times, and this is not a good look. So it looks like CXR is going to be heading lower. All right, let's cover CEMI. CEMI, main thing I'm seeing is right around between $5 and $5.30 is where I'm seeing quite a bit of support. You can see from the highs over here, we got rejected, it was resistance, resistance, all of this sideways trading, resistance, okay, and then we finally broke over it. So now that we broke over it, when we break over resistance, that resistance turns into support. So if we make our way down to the low fives right here, not saying that it is going down there, but if we do end up heading down there, that could be a bounce zone on CEMI. Another thing that I want to point out here is just a little downtrend line, not anything major because we've only got a couple touches and it's only been around for a couple months, but nonetheless it's a valid downtrend line and we're going to draw it right there anyway. So that's going to be resistance up there. It may want to fill that gap up there, but we've still got that downtrend line that will act as resistance. So be aware of that. MAC, I believe we covered in the video we did yesterday, so check out that video. I'm going to do a couple more here. DRAD. You know what, someone mentioned this to me earlier today, so decent look here. This is quite a bit of resistance in that, just below that $6 range, and currently we are above that. Pretty good looking pattern. Again, these patterns are not as reliable with these lower liquidity stocks, but we do have an uptrend line right here. So those are the main things that I'm seeing right here. We made a low here, we made a higher low here, and we're over this resistance. If I had to guess, most likely we're going to head up back up here to retest that 680 resistance up here. So not sure if earnings are coming out soon for DRAD, but I do want to throw this out there that I do not play through earnings. It could go either way. I don't know anything about the company, just going off of the chart. And that's why exactly why I do not play earnings. All right, next I'm going to cover loan. So loan here, main thing I'm seeing right here is we've got a lot of support between $4.60 and $4 here. You can see all this sideways trading action between here. So if we end up making our way down here, most likely going to get some kind of a bounce. I'm going to see if I can draw an uptrend line. Looks like I can. Yeah, so that's a pretty decent uptrend line. If we end up making our way back down here, could get a bounce from that 460 area. That's the area that I'd want to see hold on loan. All right, guys, that's all of the stocks that I have time for today. We're at 36 minutes on this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Comment on the thread, comment on the YouTube video, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll be more than happy to let you know what I think about it. All right, have a great night, and I will see you next time.